All right, the Toon Blast team is back together again. We're here with Mr. Big C, Mr. Big C Jr. We have a real special treat for you because Mr. Doodle Doo is in studio tonight, and we got the Eagles. Our Philadelphia Eagles have hit the field, and Eagles fan, large C team, we're doing just as well. Big expectations for the Eagles, big expectations out of us. We met our expectations, and another week goes by. The Aristocrats were the number 2 team. They really had nothing for us.
They sucked.
Mr. Big C, how do you feel about your team's performance after week 46?
I'm jacked. Ready to go. Let's get 47.
Mr. Big C Jr., what did you think after this big victory against the Aristocrats?
It was great. It was a great weekend. I was nervous Friday morning. I sent a chat out that I was nervous and we needed to pick it up, and I think I lit a spark.
So, Mr. Doodle Doo, you're new to the game, but not new to entertainment. What do you think of this game so far in the early stages?
Well, if I could sum it up in just a 3-letter word, I would say F-U-N. Fun, fun, fun.
Well, that's what's great. And coming in Friday morning, we obviously got off to a slow start. We were trailing. We're not used to being in that position. Of course, by noon Friday, the team had rallied. Mr. Doodle Doo, this was your second tourney that you were a part of. Did it feel strange after week 1 where we were in the lead the whole time as you jumped on the team to week 2 where we started off trailing and then picked it up? Was it weird to be in those two different situations?
I would say it was definitely an acclimation period. I am a fan of the underdog, so by no means was I unfamiliar with that territory. I got in my space, in my zone. I did what I had to do. I gave some positive reinforcement on the group chat, and I was very happy. Come dinner time on Friday, I mean, the doorbell rang, the pizza was delivered, and we were in first.
There you go. And Mr. Big C, how did it feel to have... Because a lot of times our newcomers aren't really willing to get into the chats, even though maybe his levels weren't high. It was nice to hear from a newcomer like Mr. Doodle Doo during the tournament.
Yes, welcome, Mr. Doodle Doo. I really appreciate you joining the team. Man, I'm at loss for words tonight.
Well, that's fine. Obviously, with Mr. Doodle Doo here, I was very excited. As you got into the early stages of this particular game, what are some of the obstacles you're running into as kind of a rookie of the game?
Well, I wasn't aware that you could, prior to starting a level, that you could enhance the level with some of the, that hammer. Everybody loves that hammer, right? Or the boxing glove is, you're down to one move and you got one piece and nothing's fixing. You just box it away, man, and so I'm more comfortable with what the tools that are available in my toolbox, so to speak, and I think that's just something that comes with the territory, with learning the game. It's, throw me into the fire and hear me roar.
It's so refreshing to hear you talk this way as a newcomer, because so many newcomers, I think they get frustrated right away. Whether it's pink goo, whether it's carrot hats.
It's definitely a natural reaction, I think.
And I really admire your enthusiasm so early on to want to be a part of the team and start to create stars. And I actually noticed early on now you've given helps to the team.
I love helping. I mean, if I can get that free token, why not, right? If 100 tokens is going to get me 5 extra moves, and I need those moves, right now I'm on level 124, which has been quite a thorn in my side, I'll tell you that. But
well, I got to tell you, Mr. Big C, that's got to be music to your ears, because you are adamant about the success of this team is solely due to the number of helps the teammates give each other.
Yes, it helps, and calling in and being part of the chat. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. The people that don't give the helps are the ones that I give the boot to.
Yeah, and it's just so important to have the chatting and it's the camaraderie.
It
gentlemen.
is the camaraderie that keeps me coming back.
Banter.
Yes, I mean you might have your significant other, your children, your wife talking to you, and it's like, hey, I can't talk right now. I gotta help. I gotta help the team. I'm on a team, honey.
Yep.
You change that diaper.
Exactly.
You feed the
Hey,
kids.
grab me a cold one too while you're at it. While you're changing that diaper.
Because I got some blocks to break down, and I gotta help this team stay on top. 46 weeks, Mr. Big C Jr. What are you feeling now going into 47?
Even Mr. Big C Jr. is wearing a Philly Unite. It's almost like he's exuding this team mentality.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Winner mentality. We are 5 weeks, 6, if being honest, 6 weeks away from a year. Like we're there almost. I feel it. I can taste it. Now I had a question.
That's what
for
you said.
Mr. Doodle Doo. You said you like to get in that zone, and that. Now, is that like a mindset or is that like a physical location? Because I know for me, when I can turn a 5-minute bathroom break into an hour bathroom break.
Well, just a little advice from Dr. Schnecklepuss. Don't sit on that hopper too long. You don't want to have to go to the bum doctor. But for me, it's a little bit of both to answer your question. It's both a mental zen and it's also a physical location. It's much like where we're doing this podcast now. You know, we're kind of cordoned off in essentially a little bit of a bunker. And so for me, it's a little bit of both.
And you find you're comfortable in your neighborhood. I mean, you could curl them up next to a stump or a tree
under
house.
a tree, or I mean, if it was as nice as it was today outside, I'm in Valley Forge Park,
and you're just going to get your screen. So you're just in Valley Forge, you're curled up next to a tree, and you got your screen, and anywhere you need to be, you can focus.
I'll tell you what, the best thing that came along is the ability to have this in your hand at all times. It's sometimes I'm at work and I might peel off a little 10-minute session. You know what I mean? It's all about the sessions until I run out of lives or whatever. But that's when I'll ask for the help. It's an exciting time to be on a winning team.
And you came in week 40, I guess week 45, and here you are on the precipice of a 52-week run that's going to be almost a year, and you're a part of it late, but you still don't feel like you're taking any less away from it.
Well, I felt that first and foremost, my duty was to get to level 100. And now I'm stuck at 124. It's 150, and now I'm gonna incrementally get you don't climb a mountain starting on the top, right? So, but I hope to one day enjoy the MVP accolades that some of our other fabulous teammates are enjoying.
And that's a wonderfully humble answer to that question, and it's great that you're so enthusiastic about it. Mr. Doodle Doo brought something up I think a lot of Toon Blast players run into, is that this isn't like some game that gives you unlimited abilities to keep trying and trying. You do run out of hearts. In fact, you break your hearts. And what ends up happening is you get that 10, 15 minute, 20 session where you get on a good streak, you hit the wrong level, boom, heart's gone, and you have to stop playing. How do you feel about it? What do you say to our players that are being challenged by levels that have to walk away, Mr. Big C?
Grab another device and start another team.
Or maybe you want them to start on a different team, or do you think they should just...
No, come on our team, but as another player from your iPad or your computer. And then by the time you run out of hearts there, you're all the way full circle again. You're starting all over again.
So that's something you could obviously do. I for one like to try to work my way up, but obviously, Mr. Big C Jr., there's a lot of ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
There are.
So how do you approach the game when you get frustrated on a level?
You just gotta buckle down. You're not gonna beat every level the first try, as much as you want to. You just gotta keep doing it. It might take you a couple days.
Well, Mr. Doodle Doo, you're new to this, and I don't know if you know, Mr. Big C Jr. was a world ranking guy. We talk about it all the time. So he is the chief strategist of this podcast. So if you ever have any questions about strategy in the levels, because of course, you have to figure out your globes and your rockets, and we talk about this and what you combine and things like that. So if you ever have any questions or any levels are really giving you a hard time, Mr. Big C Jr. really is he's a good resource.
And I guess for the other members on the team that are maybe a little bit gun shy to ask for that help, the first thing that he said to me was, "Yeah, I chatted up with you on the chat." So again, I can't stress enough how important that group chat is. It is a tool in your toolbox, so use it. And to Mr. Big C Senior, or just straight up Mr. Big C, I would say that yes, I agree very much with different users and many different profiles in regards to the practice. We all know that the more practice you put in, the better you're going to be, period.
Yeah.
It's I think Andy Dufresne said it was time and patience. Well, in Toon Blaster, it's all about practice and possibly usernames.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. The little Shawshank Redemption
shout out.
reference. Thank you, Mr. Doodle-Doo. That was excellent.
Actually,
Anything I can do to help the team.
Excellent. Excellent analyzation of the Toon Blast chats and stuff like that. So, I mean, the big thing is don't be afraid to ask. Mr. Doodle-Doo, I was looking over at his screen. He's dealing with plenty of Easter eggs right now. Not always the easiest thing. You got to match those colors up next to it, but we're here. We're going to help him through it. And if we can't, we're going to keep sending you helps. And that's the biggest thing. This team, we want is helps.
Without a doubt.
That's what we're built on.
And Mr. Big C Jr. actually told me the other day we were talking, and I said, "What do you do when you're stuck on a level?" And he was like, "I put my phone down, and I go somewhere, and I punch the clown, and I come back, and I'm relaxed, and I'm ready to go, and busting up squares again."
Just busting a lot,
Yeah, so that's good. It's good.
Who's this clown that you're punching?
It's a good release. Gets you a good release. Good.
And sometimes that's what you have to do is get out a little bit of energy, come back, refocus. I've done that plenty of times where I've been able to come back, refocus, and really start to figure out what I want to do in this next level.
Sometimes, all it takes is a little bit of that, just a release, like you said.
And
from the loins of the mother.
I was working from the bottom, which Toon Blast, a lot of strategists will say, work from the bottom.
Work from the bottom. Yeah, some people work from the top.
Yeah, and I don't think you can get as much action from the top as you can from the bottom when those things all fall together, and you never know, you start getting bombs and rockets and stars and all kinds of good things can happen when you work from bottom up. So I started doing that. I got through some levels. I'm at the 2000s now, and it's getting a lot more difficult.
Whether it's top, bottom, front, back, it's a preference. Just like everything, you just got to find what you're comfortable with, and that's what I say.
It is a preference. I mean, I prefer Tuesdays.
Exactly. Hey, it's whatever you want, but when it comes to a weekend tournament, obviously you got to focus on those 3 days. We always say collect as many hearts as you can. Get your heart on. Get your coins. Get your coins up. Get your rockets up. Get your anvils up. The hammers, the gloves, disco balls, everything you can. Get those things up and running for the weekend tournament, and I guarantee you, our team will continue to have success.
Sometimes I have a big deck in the back of my house, and sometimes I'll just sit out there, and I feel like where I need to go to beat.
I have a big deck
level
too.
124. You got a big deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually podcasted from his
big
deck.
It's a nice hard big deck.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll have to come check that out
It's
sometime.
got
No doubt.
the brand
Fun
new
for all.
hardwood.
Fun for all.
I just always, I feel like I always perform better.
And you're outside and you're just enjoying yourself and breaking down some of these cubes and stuff like that. It's always big. So obviously we had a great win. We took it to the Aristocrats the week before. We took it to Kimmy's Clan. Who really stood out in your mind this weekend, Mr. Big C?
Dr. Dover.
Oh, that guy's a machine.
Again.
Yeah, MVP.
How
Hold on. We have
how
a
many
call in.
levels did Dr. Dover successfully defeat?
Hello. Sorry about that.
We're all good. Who's
Oh, we got another low level guy here. We've had him here before, Mr. J Chili Blast. How did your weekend go?
I came on strong late. It was a busy weekend. We're down at the shore on vacation. Got a little crazy on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday night I was really able to lock in. And I believe I either got my personal high for the weekend or very close to. I believe I ended up in the 60s for stars.
Wow, nice.
Wow!
Congratulations.
So you definitely beat Mr. Clarendon. I think 50 is as far as he's taken it, but that's excellent news. So you hit your high this week. Obviously, like we were saying before, better than Mr. Clarendon. And what level are you at now?
So I believe I'm getting right around 700. I believe I'm at like 645, 650 mark.
Holy moly!
I kind of came up with a new strategy, figured out it on vacation that I've been playing too much during the week.
Yep.
It helps to save it up for the weekend when it really counts. It's good to practice, but you got to save it for game time on the weekend.
So we were just talking about that, and Mr. Doodle Doo's here, and he was talking about some of his gloves and anvils and stuff like that, and it's really important to not use those during the week and then save them up for the weekend and get as many as you can. So definitely the same advice has been going around, and I'm glad you're able to share that with the team.
And you also tend to burn through the coins too much. We get that nice little pile on this win streak we got going now on, what is this, week 47?
Yep, coming up.
And, sometimes after that win, you get those 250,000 coins, depending on how you did and what other things you won. And then if you burn through them on the week, when it comes down for the big show on the weekend, you already lost all your coins.
What do you think of that, Mr. Doodle Doo?
That's a very valid point. I think as somewhat of a newbie, even though I have a couple weeks under my belt, that's some very, very solid advice. And I'm just sitting here. I'm registering these files, and hopefully I can someday achieve 700 levels myself. So I appreciate the advice.
So he's banking all this information into his hard drive, correct?
That would be one way to phrase it.
That's excellent. We appreciate the phone call. Did you have anything else to share with the team as we go towards week 47, Mr. Chili Blast?
I did not. I just want everyone to stay strong. Set the goal here. We're going for that year. We're 5 weeks away from week 52.
Yep.
Coming up here. So 1 week at a time. Keep collecting those stars, and please keep helping. That's a big part of our team is getting those helps out there.
I'll tell you what's exciting. Week 52 is going to almost coincide with the start of the NFL football season. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an exciting time. I think the team's really going to rally. But we can't talk about 52 until we get through 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51. So we still have a body of work to do as a team. So I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, Mr. Doodle Doo.
Don't look now, but Mr. Doodle Doo's got 15 moves left, and level 124 should be going down here shortly.
And this is interesting because if you take a peek, and I don't know if you've done that yet because you're early in this game, but take a look in the upper left. Bruno Bear's a little bit excited because he knows you have a lot of levels left.
Oh, okay.
So
he does look happy.
Yeah. He's got a big smile on his face. The eyes are wide open. I think he knows you're getting. He knows you're getting this. So, Mr. Chili Blast, thanks for checking in with us.
You're like a good luck charm, Mr. Chili Blast. Thank you.
Absolutely, anytime. Good luck this week, everyone, in week 47.
Are you selling real estate now, Chili Blast?
I'm looking into it.
All right.
I'm putting my toes in the water, if you will, down on the beach here. Just
All
dabbing around a little bit, checking some things out.
What beach
you
at
might be seeing
there?
some posts on Facebook.
He's at the old Ocean City.
Oh, the old Ocean City. Are we talking Jersey or Maryland?
We were talking Jersey these last 2 weeks.
Okay,
Maryland's
cool.
coming up in a couple weeks.
Would you like to give your address out up here since you're down at the shore?
I'll post something a little bit with some business cards.
All right. Sounds good. Well, we'll see you in week 47, Mr. Chili Blast.
All right, sounds good, everyone.
Have fun.
And please be, anyone can call in. We'd love to talk to anybody on the team. One of these weeks, I'd love to hear from Dr. Dover, Jay
What's
Michelle.
the number?
Well, that's a good point. We got to come up with a number for people to call in. But when we finally do,
Mr. Clarendon, he's always on his phone. We could probably dish out.
Hear from Mr. Clarendon's girlfriend.
Hasty.
Or better yet, anybody that's an aspiring Toon Blaster. Maybe there's the Wayne Gretzky Broski of Toon Blast are just sitting there laying on the sofa ready to blast away tonight.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean,
Give us a call, Ryan.
we call him out every week. He's supposedly the big Mahaf advertiser of this game. He don't want none. You know, I don't know if he could handle our team.
He might not be a grinder. Now, one thing I know, I don't know, Mr. J Chili Blast, he's a little humble. He grinds a little bit harder than I think he says he does, because I had off work one day, so I was staying up late Toon Blasting, and he requested helps at 1:30 in the morning.
I'll tell you,
1:30, he's
when
playing.
people request helps, that's always telling. You can't hide from that.
I can't.
I know when the helps come through. I know when I ask for helps, everybody's going to know that Mr. Sensible is working.
Yeah, and we run on Eastern Standard Time.
And it's important. I want to ask you, Mr. Doodle-Doo, because you're new. Just for anybody coming in who might be a little bit apprehensive about this game, talk about what kind of physical conditioning you even need to be in to play a game like this.
Well, for starters, I would recommend purchasing a Vitamix. Because you're going to need a nice green smoothie in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I would get some of Dave's Killer Bread. I don't know if anybody out there is familiar with Dave's Killer Bread, but it has all the nutrients and supplements that a body that's going to be blasting needs. And then I would have maybe a yogurt with some crushed nuts for lunch, lots of water, and a very sensible dinner.
That's excellent. You don't have to be in great peak physical conditioning to play this game.
I don't think that. I mean, in due time, right? Everything's in due time. I'm just looking at some of the champions that we have, and there's a common theme.
Yeah,
They're all, they're not Joel Embiid drinking 5 cookies and cream milkshakes from Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean?
And actually, Mr. Big C Jr. said there's a lot of hand exercises that you can do to strengthen up your thumbs.
Yeah.
You have to have strong thumbs.
And that's a good point. I mean, I know that's my weakness right now.
We got another call in.
You might want to get a Rubik's
Hello?
Cube.
Oh, Patty Cakes. This is Patty Cakes calling into the podcast. Say hi.
Hi.
Patty Cakes is my sister-in-law.
And she's part of the team.
She's been on the team for a long time.
And this is excellent to have a new member come in and talk to us a little bit. Patty Cakes, what was your weekend like week 46? This is Mr. Sensible, just trying to get sense of your weekend.
Hi, Mr. Sensible. How are you? My weekend was tough.
All right,
I was stuck on level 1210 for almost 2 full days.
Jeez.
Oh, my goodness. Did you use any globes or bombs or rockets?
I did. No success.
No success. Well,
Not enough. There's not enough turn to get past these higher levels.
I understand. I mean, Mr. Doodle-Doo was sitting here talking about level 124, but guess what? He just dominated it, and Bruno Bear let him know.
Actually, Bruno Bear just dumped on me because I didn't. I ended up squandering it. So Bruno Bear got the last laugh.
Well, Patty Cakes knows how that feels.
Patty Cakes has really come on in the last several weeks.
Yes, I managed to pass it, though, this morning.
We
We're
love hearing
12-11
that.
now.
We haven't seen it in a while. What was involved?
It was,
Did you have otters? Were there gophers?
no, it was...
Clams? You're making Mr. Doodle-Doo a little nervous.
I think it was
He doesn't know what he's in store
gopher.
for. Gophers? Did you have the gophers?
Oh, it was the, what are they called? Pinata things.
Ah, pinatas.
Oh, pinatas.
Was
I
it?
remember that.
Yeah, well,
Pinatas, and I think it was also the gophers. Some gophers, pinatas, and then
you hearing that music, Patty Cakes?
I'm hearing it.
Yes, and that's one of those things that I would say to you, if this makes sense, put the music on. It helps you focus.
You might be a little too tense, Patty Cakes.
Well, Patty Cakes has
try
been
that
tense.
tonight.
She's in the middle of a move. Congratulations on your new purchase of your home.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Patty Cakes,
And,
you
I'll be
get.
playing tonight.
Oh, nice.
Sorry?
You get. If you're in the middle of a move, you put that couch down, you jump on it, and you knock out some levels. You got children to move those things for you. You're here to get your coins up and get ready for this weekend.
She's got golden thumbs, Mr. Sensible.
Absolutely.
Well, it was great.
I have my priorities straight. I will be playing tonight. As soon as I get home, I'll have my cup of tea, get in bed, and I'll be playing Toon Blast till 2 a.m.
Nice.
Oh, great to hear from you.
Well, we love you.
We love you. Thank you.
You're
I'll
welcome.
talk to you soon.
Great advice there. And for our team out there, look at here you have Patty Cakes, who've been around for a long time. Level 1210, giving her a tough go, and she finally beat it this morning. I've talked about it before. Stick-to-itiveness. You have to stick to it, and Mr. Doodle Doo's over here. He's sticking to it. There's no other thing I can say. Sometimes we hit these levels, and here's the thing. I would love to be able to help different people, but what ends up happening, you're in a different place, so you can't really help somebody that's in a different area, because we're all on these different episodes and we're all focusing on different ways to complete these episodes.
And that makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate that. What do you think, Mr. Big C? I mean, I could pick up Mr. Doodle Doo's phone right now and try to work at it, but I'm not going to do that to him. He wants to accomplish these goals by himself.
He can do it. He's more than capable.
I've seen him do plenty of things. I've seen him win plenty of games, and I have all the confidence in the world that he can make sense of this level. And I think Bruno Bear does too. There's no question.
Did Bruno Bear just oop on him?
Sound like it.
It didn't sound good, Bruno. So as we go into week 47, what are we thinking this week? What kind of star output are you thinking about, Mr. Big C Jr.?
I think, I've been hanging around the 400s lately.
That's excellent.
I think they're starting to get a little bit harder, but I'm still going to get a couple hundred this weekend. Me and Hasty were going at it. We were battling for third place.
I've definitely slowed down. I was telling Mr. Big C Jr., just because he's such a good strategist of the game, that I spent this entire week going from level 2000 to 2050. I hung tight at 2050 so that I could start a new episode tomorrow.
Hey, you're on with the Toon Blaster team. How you doing?
Hey guys, this is the guy. How you gonna act like I don't speak English?
Who?
Who is it?
How you gonna act like I don't speak English?
This is the Toon, are you trying to join the team?
I just got cleared, medical clearance yesterday, boys.
Nice.
Sure what you're referring to. We're a Toon Blaster pod. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, blokes. Sign me. I'm free agent.
Well, you have to get in the game.
That's odd.
Yeah,
it's an odd call.
I don't know where he came from, but well, you can do that if you. So you can. I don't know if you can package the bombs and the rockets together, or the two globes together.
A tighter package, definitely. Yes, I've definitely reaped the benefits of a tighter package. In fact, that's what on 124. That's the advice I need.
And so. Mr. Big C Jr. talks about that. Put all those things together, package them, and you can create more action with all the blocks breaking apart. So that's
Eventually, once they're all packaged, they'll just explode, and you'll win, and you'll beat the level once the explosion occurs.
So did you think, Mr. Big C? Was there anybody that really stood out to you this weekend? We had Dr. Dover. He was MVP.
Dr.
Congrats,
Dover. Who
congrats,
else?
Dr. Dover.
Dill? Yeah, Dill was all right.
Me and
What was,
Hasty.
Mr. Big C, what was the most levels ever accomplished by a teammate, like in one weekend tournament?
There was over 1,200 done by two people the same weekend.
Wow, that's pretty big.
1,200 stars.
amazing.
So you divide
1,200 stars?
Yeah. So you don't know how many levels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Technically,
but
they
you
get
get 3 stars if you leave so many moves.
Yeah. So you figure if you just conservatively divide that by 3, that's a lot of levels.
That's a lot of blasting.
Yeah.
It makes you think. They might be digging into their pockets to pull out some money to get that much.
Here's the
Ugh.
okay. So we're going to talk about
That's
this. This is
interesting.
something I wanted to bring up at the last podcast, but Mr. Needle screwed it up. How do you feel about spending money on the game? The game is free.
Never, ever, ever is my take on it. Ever.
What do you think, Mr. Big C Jr.?
I know one person that has done that, and that was Jay Michelle. You know you did it.
I mean, how much? Like, what are we talking?
I think she bought like 5 moves to get past the level.
Oh, well, I've done that. I mean, I've done the the 100 coins to get the extra 5 moves.
I'm talking about real green.
real money, like you're
real
attaching your
Put
debit
your credit card information
Yeah.
in there, and like
I just
need to buy
feel like
moves.
that's taking it a little too.
I almost feel like as a winning team of 46 weeks that they should be some of those packages in the visitor store, the gift shop, so to speak, should be free to us.
It would seem if you put that much investment into the game of time that they should give something back.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the arcade and you got 46,000 points and you want that spider ring.
And the weird
You know?
guy behind the counter, he's like,
Well, you can either have this bouncy ball or this spider ring.
yeah.
Is
How about those guys?
Is it? I hate to use this word, but is it lazy? Hey,
It's definitely something. I don't know if it's lazy. I think it'd be more entitlement, or it's something though. It's a psychological thriller.
now I want to play devil's advocate here. Is it also maybe commitment to your team?
Dedication.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're willing to put out your cash for your team. Well, for your own advancement, but obviously the advancement of yourself is also going to advance your team. Is it lazy or is it severe commitment?
I would think that based on everything that I've heard tonight, and I know I'm a newcomer, so I'm definitely not trying to start to any tidal wave, so to speak, but I would say because of the help that's available and because of how much we've all stressed the help, that to pull money out of your pocket just might be plain stupidity.
If it comes down to Sunday night at the end of the weekend tournament, and we're all tied up
This is an
with
interesting.
Kimmy's clan, maybe
this
we're
is
playing
a-
Kimmy's clan,
If
maybe
we
we're
run into
revenge.
another
You're
weekend,
right about that. You're right. That would be different circumstances.
I might
Yeah.
pull some money out of my pocket.
Well, you might have to
get
give
that star.
the approval as the
Yeah, and
the head of
good
operations.
luck
So
getting
you-
that approval.
So you're thinking the right scenario.
I would say it's a right scenario kind of event.
What's this charge for $100 on Toon Blast?
My thinking is, if that's it. Whoever wants to do it, I won't be doing it. But if they want to do it, then do it. It's better than hacking and getting free unlimited coins and stars. That's cheating. That's flat out cheating. If you want to pay for it, it's not my money.
Who are we to say?
I think it's
I'm not
more.
gonna do
I
it.
think it's more there though. The problem I think I have on a fundamental level is I think it's there more for the people that already have it auto set up, and it's there for a 5-year-old child to be Toon Blasting away, accidentally get to that screen, accidentally hit this button, and the parents are so busy with having other people watch their kids that they don't even see the charge.
So you're saying maybe a slip of the finger.
I would say it's a stroke of bad luck.
We've
Yeah.
had our fair slip of the fingers, I think.
We've
with
talked
playing
about
levels.
I've definitely slipped a finger here and there where I thought I was hitting a rocket and I ended up hitting the one below or behind.
Well, especially because you like to sit in the dark. You know what I mean?
And the reason for that is I like to I want to feel the full brightness of the screen, and that's where my eyes are focused.
Amen.
So yeah,
You're saying blue screen. Who?
There's nothing like that disco ball spinning into bombs and rockets, or spinning off another disco ball and creating a magical disco ball.
it's
Nothing like it.
It's a feeling that you just keep chasing.
And you're laying there pantless. What?
But hey, whatever you do, but it gets hot. It was like 100 degrees.
It was last week. It was a pantless kind of Toon Blast.
Yeah, so if you got to do what you got to do to keep your cool, because you got to keep your cool, that's the only way you're going to think your way through these levels. For some of our teammates, I will tell you this, and I don't know that it's all that beneficial. I've looked a couple times. All the levels are on YouTube. They can beat every level. They show beating every level without any help.
How high do they go?
Every single level of Toon Blast on YouTube.
How many levels are there?
2,951. 2,951. But obviously, it's never going to be the same.
That's the max. So it maxes out.
Then you start winning trophies, and you go to
A world championship,
Yeah.
and you earn trophies.
Do we know who the undisputed heavyweight champion of Toon Blaster is?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can look.
I can find that out. in a jiffy.
That's who we have to get on for an interview. That would be pretty interesting stuff.
It would be.
I think he's on a French team, so I don't know how much English he would know.
Well, we know
Probably
somebody
in France, they probably actually speak English in other countries.
Well, prior to
Yeah.
tonight's show, you say you might have a French connection that could help translate this.
Well, it's funny because I actually have some correspondence over in France, and we might be able to make this happen.
I mean, that would be unbelievable.
That
so,
would be.
Here's the best in the world. Doodle Doo's getting his glasses out. He's got bifocals, and he's checking this out. So we have
Les Resistance.
Les
Kazumo.
Resistance.
Kazumo is the number 1 player in the world.
That's the number 1 guy.
So-
That's weird. It only
So
he's at 3088, and it only goes to.
He's at 30. That's 3088 trophies.
and we're just assuming
So that
he
means-
could be a woman.
So when you get trophies, you get 1 trophy per level. That means he has beat 3088 levels.
Beyond the 29,
So
51.
5,000. That's
That's
5193 levels.
So here's your
5,193
Here's your top 10
levels.
teams in the entire world.
And I did see that. I think it's interesting that like some of the countries have there's like country teams.
Yeah. That's not us. We stick to our NFL squad.
I mean, I guarantee you there's nobody else, no other team that has 46 straight weekend championships. No way.
No, but I think the goal of some, and that's the thing about you, Mr. Big C. You go after commitment and loyalty, where I think other teams are trying to find people with the highest trophies, the highest, world rankings and stuff like that. But you're more of a loyal approach.
It's interesting. What if we could just delve into your scouting? I mean, it's a big time in baseball right now with the trade deadline. But what's your approach to scouting talent?
I just make as many cuts as I need to, and I look for players that want to play and want to be committed to giving helps and getting those stars on the weekend tournaments. I mean, if
Does
you
it
do all that,
bother
you
you
stay
at
on
all?
the team.
Making the cuts? Are there some cuts that are harder than others?
No, I've cut my own family.
He has. He's cut his own son. He was here. Now, yes, he wasn't getting it
Texas?
done. Yeah, Mr. Clarendon he just wasn't doing enough. And if you're not producing,
So what's that cut look like? I mean, do you call him up?
He picked up his phone one day and went to play, and he didn't have a team.
he was a free agent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a free agent call in earlier. That's interesting. I mean,
Yes, we
hey,
did. I mean,
I don't even know what he was saying. I mean, for all we know, he could have been on Team La
He
Resistance.
could have been La Resistance.
You know what I mean? He's like, who knows?
I guarantee you they don't have a podcast going right now. So, I don't know what their commitment is as a team to get together and actually strategize like we do.
Well, it'd be interesting since we. It seems to me early going that we kind of pride ourselves on helping one another. It'd be interesting to maybe get in touch with some of these other teams, and who knows? Maybe we'll be going to France next year to do a tournament. You know what I mean?
I like to hear from North Korea, who we beat several weeks ago.
See
Well,
what
I think they're too busy testing.
Yeah, they are.
well,
Yeah.
dude,
Well, hopefully they're not testing over here.
Well, you brought up a good point about the scouting, and I'll tell you, Mr. Big C and Mr. Big C Jr. had a devious plan to release Mr. Big C Jr. out into free agency. He was going to jump on teams, scout out the teams,
That's interesting.
and try to recruit them back to our team. Whatever happened with that?
So when I had my other account on my old phone, when I was getting the trophies, I was going to be able to get on all the teams. I could get on any team I wanted, and now I don't have that because I'm only level 1306. But I was going to go and recruit some of the players and recruit some big-time players to our team, but not to kick anybody off that we already had, just to kick out the lower people that were joining and stuff. But, friends, family are always welcome to join, but it was to get rid of the other people, like the Kimberleys.
The only pitfall I could see to some of that undercover work, so to speak, is sometimes when you do that, and then you go back to Mr. Big C, and you tell him and he sees it differently, and then you go, you know what, I'm going to start my own team. And then now we have a real barn burner because now we have two teams that, like, there's insider information. But, I mean, it's kind of, not to go back to the NFL and all that stuff, but it's, 45 days away from the start of the season where the Eagles are going to annihilate the Redskins on opening day. Yeah. And it's, you see all the lineage of great coaches and stuff like that. I think,
he doesn't. Mr. Sensible doesn't like that comment. He's a Redskins fan.
Oh, that's why I said it. You don't,
horrible.
Mr. Sensible.
Why?
You see Mr. Sensible. I think I might somewhere have stashed away photos of him in a Redskins shirt.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sure
I definitely do.
But like old school.
I saw it more as when NWA split during WCW. And you had the white NWA faction and the red NWA faction. Yep. So we don't want to see something like that happen. Barring we didn't, Mr. Big C Jr. wasn't able to recruit anybody, but we were able to pick you up, Mr. Doodle Doo. And I can tell you guys as a team, we have a great addition here.
I was like laying in a cave, belly up, and I was ready. You know what I mean? I was primed for. I was like, they like to call it in Toon Blast or circles that I run in. I was low-hanging fruit, ripe for the picking.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, you may not get a lot of stars, you may not be high on the levels,
Not
but
yet.
I know you're committed to this team, and you answered the call. I mean, it was one call, and he said, you know what, Mr. Sensible, that makes sense.
It made clear, and it made a lot of clear and concise sense to me. And even tonight, I told you I was at ballet. I was running late at ballet, and was I going to get here or not? And I'm happy that I was.
Yeah, and I think you were longing to be a part of something.
It's a big longing. It's a very long longing.
Yeah, and it just feels good to be part of a team.
It's kind of like a club.
Exactly. Yeah, you tell your wife I'm in my Toon Blast club team. It's gonna, and what I think is gonna happen for you, it's gonna not so much be a hobby, but eventually a way of life.
I mean, if you're ordering that up now, I'm subscribing.
That's just great to hear, and I think our team will be excited to hear that. And you guys that are out there and you see us this weekend, that's Mr. Doodle Doo talking. Just came on the team.
I'm so happy. I'm thinking about having a beef and beer at my house. For a tournament, you know what I mean?
A little Eagles fan.
Just have a little
fundraiser.
fraction, maybe Patty Cakes is over there playing in the corner, Mr. Sensible.
Maybe we have a big team fundraiser and we just put it all in for coins. We all get a big credit card.
Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
If my math is adding up, I think week 52, that Sunday, will be Eagles opening day.
That's unbelievable.
Now,
Okay.
That's awesome.
There might need to be an event.
Yeah, we got a podcast that day early.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting?
I'll be back
That's special.
at school.
I would love for you to be able to go to work and just say, I'm doing a fundraiser for my Toon Blast team. Would you like to donate?
Like, I'm taking the day off, PTF, and fundraiser.
And we get a prepaid credit card. And if people on our team want to use it, they have to call or email us.
And actually,
put it into their
we're
account.
gonna, what the fundraising monies would go to, right?
No, tell me.
It would go to all the men that are out there that have been snipped, so to speak, that want to grow it back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea.
Yeah. So that would be wonderful. Well,
Or maybe if they want an extension put on.
we're closing in here almost. I think this is the longest we've gone. Obviously, Mr. Doodle Doo has added a lot to our production here. Did you have anything for us, Mr. Big C, in closing? I mean, we're getting ready for the weekend.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Friday Junior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have work till noon tomorrow, but I'm setting an alarm for 6 a.m.
That's heavy. That's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Just one last question in closing. As we prepare for the tournament, what are the hours of the tournament? Is it 12:01 Friday?
Okay, so
3:01 our time.
3:01
3:01
Eastern.
Time, yes.
So 3:01 East, yeah, and then it goes till I guess 3 a.m. Monday
So
morning.
what's that mean?
I think
It's a West
Pacific,
Coast.
Yeah.
This is a West Coast operation.
Yeah, but we're running it over here on the East Coast.
Oh yeah, East Coast always runs things.
That's interesting.
Well,
East West.
Until we hear from us again, keep blasting.
Blast off.
Have a great week, and let's have a great weekend. 47.
There we go.